All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Knit State of Mind podcast. We are coming here from Huchen, Ohlone Lands. Today is Saturday, December, you just told me. 18th, thank you very much.
I was worried you were going to ask me what episode it is because I don't know.
And I do know the episode. Okay. It's episode 31. I'm Wanda.
I'm Heather.
And you can find us on Instagram at Knit State of Mind, me on Ravelry as Waddy Wat.
And me on Ravelry as Heather T.
All right, so we do have some goodies for today. Not too much, so we'll see what the episode is looking like. And then we have a giveaway at the end, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
All right. Should we start with what we're wearing?
Oh, sure. Some
throwbacks.
Yeah. Old school.
Yeah. You all have seen this on the podcast before. So this is the Levenwick. I knitted. Has it been a year? I can't remember. Anyway.
I think it's been almost 2 years because I think, yeah, we were recording in the living room at your old place, I think, when you finished it.
Yeah. It's interesting to think back to when things were But this is the Levenwick. It's a cardigan by Gudrun Johnson, and it's knit with Shelter, Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, which is a worsted weight yarn. And I had it in my queue for a while, and then finally got around to making it. This was I think this was my second garment. I can't remember, but first cardigan.
Yeah.
So been talking about cardigans, and I like this. It has its own style and aesthetic. And then we'll talk a bit later about other types of cardigans I'd like to make.
I brought some. I almost never bring future plans with me because it just gets to be too much to bring. But today, because I had little to show for myself otherwise, I did. And mine's about a cardigan too. So stay tuned.
All right.
I was thinking when I walked in that I feel like that yarn has held up really well.
Yeah.
The Shelter. Yeah, because you've had that for a few years and it still looks really good.
Yeah. Is that typical, or I don't know, have other folks knitted with Shelter? How do you find it stands up long term? I'm curious. I also don't wear it a ton. But it's I was thinking about it. I was like, it is legit basically winter.
Right.
Here. And I don't know if my memory escapes me, but I don't feel like I've ever experienced it's kind of chilly out here. I'm like, bringing back some nostalgia for actual winter and life on the East Coast. But anyway, that's what I'm wearing.
It's been getting pretty cold at night. I mean, pretty cold, right? It doesn't really ever
It's in the 50s.
It's in the 50s during the day. Yeah,
during the day. So that's what we're talking about.
So this is a cowl that I made probably like 5 or 6 years ago. It's called Fine Tune by Locatelli. And I used to wear it a lot, and I was like organizing some stuff recently and I found it and I was like, I haven't worn that for a while. So I think so this is if you like stretch it out and then it just wraps around twice, and it has short rows to make these different V's. And I made it with I don't even remember, but I had several skeins of the black and then just some scraps. But I think the pattern is actually written for fingering weight, if I'm not mistaken. So mine is a little bit wider. If you followed the pattern, it would probably be a little narrower. And this is like sport or DK.
I like it like that. Like that. Yeah, that's a cool one. And I mean, you've got quite a few Hoey patterns, so bringing the old one back. And last episode, you just finished that cardigan.
Yeah.
I haven't knit anything by her yet, but there are quite a few things in my favorites.
I like her style, and I like her pattern writing style, and can be counted on that it's going to be a good garment, no matter what it is.
That's what I keep hearing. Yeah. So we'll see. Add that to the long list of things I want to make. Cool. So I don't have any FOs.
I don't have any with me, but I did finish several things. So I finished I finished 2 pairs of socks for friends at work, and then I'm working on a third that I'll show you. But I finished. I had a friend of mine at work who used to watch our podcast. I don't know if she still does. Hi, Adriana, if you're watching. But she recently, maybe like 6 months ago, she was like, when are you going to make me a pair of socks? So I said, I finally got around to it, and I gave them to her earlier this week because we just got out of school for the last day before break yesterday. So I didn't want to wait. So those are the socks that I made her.
Cute.
It's Knit Picks Felici. The color is Psychedelic Sunset.
I love that name.
Yeah, it's kind of like a modified rainbow, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and with some gray for the heels, toes, and cuffs. So I finished those.
Mm-hmm.
I also finished that second baby sweater, which was also for a friend at work, and I gave it to her already. So it's sideways, and I don't really want to mess with getting it on sideways, but that's that one. And then I made another pair of socks for a friend at work out of this yarn, and I never even took a picture of it, but this is the Game Over colorway from Felici.
Felici.
Yeah, so I did lots of plain knitting basically, and finished. And then just to move quickly into the last whip, this was for one other friend at work, and I just didn't finish them, so it's another.
Is that Felici?
Felici, yeah.
Okay, I might have to buy that one. I like those colors.
It's called Red Rocks.
Nice. You're such a generous coworker knitting for your colleagues. Hi, colleagues.
Yeah. Well, it's all people that I know would appreciate it, right?
Yeah,
or who have, like, either follow us on Instagram or comment on, it's like I know that they enjoy knitted things, so.
No doubt.
Yeah, cool. So I have 2 of these. Actually, I've been knitting them.
I love, those
concurrently.
Colors. I'm digging that.
Yeah. So,
naturally so, orange yet.
Yeah, right.
Orange, yellow.
Yeah, and then this like fuchsia.
Yeah. That has entered the rotation now as well. Awesome. So, I haven't been making any socks, but you remind me of that again. I need a vanilla sock on the needles. I also want to make, I don't know, this is kind of skipping ahead, but who cares?
Who cares? There's no agenda. Don't be fooled. There's no plan.
The Curio socks, because I was thinking about my shifty and how I'm gonna have yarn left over, and so I think the Curio socks would be. I was thinking about, because it's 4 colors, so I could make 2 pairs and different combos. The
new Andrea Mowry ones. Yeah,
I think that's what they're called.
I think so. Yeah. And she has that new sweater that's like half brioche. I actually thought of you. It's like a raglan that's half brioche.
Oh yeah. Is the sample in like a cream color?
Let me see if I can pull it up. I think so. Yeah, the sample is a cream color. Yeah.
We checked in earlier in the week, and Heather and I were talking about how we don't. Like, our knitting mojo has been ebbing and flowing, and at the same time, there are so many things we want to cast on and make. So, yeah.
This one is what we're talking about.
Yes.
And then I also, this is just random, but I also saw this sweater from Along Avec Anna that's got like a high funnel neck and like some kind of lacy bobbly, right? I know. So then I was like, well, do you notice that number? That's number 1027.
Okay. Is that your cue?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, what have you been working on?
Okay, so
I've been working on adding things to my queue. I don't know what you've been working on.
Our systems are different. I'm curious about other people's systems. I add things to my favorites, and you add things to your queue. And you told me your queue. Does your queue mean you actually plan to make it, or is it a way for you to keep track?
It's a way for me to keep track. So I do add stuff to I have like 8,000 things in my favorites. I add things to my favorites too, but some of that's like other people's projects. Some of it is things. My queue is all things that I think I would make for myself or for somebody else that I like know for sure I would make it for, right? So like if there's a sweater where I really like the design, but I know it wouldn't look good on me and I wouldn't have anyone to make it for, that goes in my favorites.
Got it.
If it's like one of those 2 that I just showed, I'm like, ooh, I really like that. I would like to make that for myself.
That would go in your queue.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Queue favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, okay. All right.
Right. And then if I were to make like a half brioche pullover, like say I were to make that, then I would go through my queue and I would delete any other pullovers that are very similar to that. So I often have like multiple similar patterns in my queue, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's how my favorites are. I'll have similar patterns, but I found that I don't even use my queue anymore, I feel like. Anyway.
Anyways, it doesn't, and then I have my mental queue, which is like completely different than what's Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
Ooh,
Well, what
this
am
looks
I
great.
working on? So, I don't. What's the best way to show this?
Do you want me to hold it?
Does that work?
Yeah. Because you're working on the yoke, right?
It's curling. Anyway, so this is the yoke of my test knit. It is, I don't know what the name's going to be, but it's a Mudcloth pattern, which I spoke about last time. And it's designed by Chinua, Chen Two Together on Instagram, right? Yeah. And I don't know, I think he's a newer designer, but he put out the call and I liked it so much. And I was actually surprised once I started it. Anyway, because I'm doing it on fingering weight, and I didn't think about it. I was like, oh yeah, you all know I'm enjoying the Knit Picks yarn palette a lot, and I like this color a lot, the main color. And so I was like, I want to figure out how to make it. And so I swatched using a US 6. So I'm using a US 6. And I'm getting 26 by 26, and the pattern calls for 24 by 26. So I'm doing a couple of sizes up from my regular size. And the math should work. Fingers are crossed. I'm just working my way through the yoke right now. So it's fun. This is my first time. Is it my first time? There are multiple charts. So I'm, I wish I could just have the chart open and go. But it's like you finish a round and then you gotta scroll through and find the next chart. But it's fine. It's rhythmic. It's flowing. I think the main color is Bramble, and then this is like their oat colorway. And then what's bringing me a lot of joy are these stitch markers.
I was just gonna ask about those. And I was like, what are? I haven't seen those before.
And I should have remembered. I remember. Okay, so this is by Hello Lavender, and she had a release recently, and they have different basically affirmations on them. So this one says, "I am loved," and she has things like I will rest, and then they come with additional. So it came with like
so it's all like a set.
Yeah, it was a set. It came with like the flower and
the orange one is what come.
It came
or gold,
with
whatever,
this little mustard. And then I was in the Santa Cruz Mountains recently. Oh, and then this came in Hello Lavender set. I don't know why I'm trying to show these little stitch markers, but anyway, I was in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and I stopped by, I think it's just called like Santa Cruz Yarn or something. It was the customer service was nice. It was a lovely little yarn store there, and I got a couple of things. But it came with a stitch marker and progress marker, which I might have on another project right now. But these little owls, and I forget who the designer of these were. Y'all can't see these. Anyway, these owls, and then it had the mustard with them. So, so that's bringing a lot of joy. And what I like about these stitch markers, the owls, is that it's the same design on the front and the back.
Oh, so you can see it no matter which. Yeah,
exactly.
I hate that when the back is
Yeah. So that's that. I'm really excited about this. I'm just going to enjoy the process. But
no, it looks great. It's coming together.
It feels like something I'll enjoy wearing. Yeah. So that's that.
Well, speaking of multiple charts, I did a little bit more on the cover sweater, which I realized I don't think I ever said the name of last time. It's called Polyrhythm. So you will see I'm not that much farther than I was before, because if we're being honest, it is tedious because it also has multiple charts, and I'll show in a minute the inside, which is part of why it's so tedious. It's all connected to so I did maybe like 10-12 more rows, so you can at least really see how the pattern is developing now. And I really like it. I think it looks really great. I think this is a good yarn for it because it's like nice and fluffy, so it's like plumping up. Of the yarn. Barocco Ultra Alpaca. And just cream and black. I don't know what the color names are, but so I've made it through the first, and it's like the checkerboard has switched now, so you can see it went from like more black and white, and now it's kind of like white and black. So yeah, so I'm happy with that. The part of the reason it's so tedious is that it has these ladder back jacquard floats on the inside, which are really good because it helps you catch the floats without having to have it show through on the front. So it's a way of, but it just is like an extra step because you have to purl that extra stitch, and it's just like a little funky with how you have to move the yarn. I also realized you're supposed to twist that stitch, and I had not been twisting it. I had been just purling it regular. I don't think it's really going to matter, but I did start twisting it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking to learn that technique for another project, I recommend either checking out this pattern because there is a good description in this pattern of how to do it.
Yeah.
Or there's another pattern because I use this technique on my Alaska sweater, the one that has all the trees around the bottom. And I bought a pattern called It's Not Just the Hat, or It's Not About the Hat, or something like that. We'll link it below. And the whole point of that pattern is to teach you how to do ladder back jacquard.
Oh, so, cool. Yeah.
Either one, this pattern has a good description of it too.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so worked on that for a little bit. And I just have one other whip. Do you have any other whips?
I have two more. I can show them.
Okay.
Because one of them I haven't been working on as much, but I did work on some, so I'll share my progress. Move this stuff.
When this yarn almost looks like kind of pink.
Does
in this light. I don't know.
I
don't know. Not like pink, but anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry. Palette love. Love it. Okay.
Oh, I didn't mention this. I didn't do it from the beginning, but I got this from Knit Picks.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
Actually, I think it might work for me. What is it called again? This isn't the one I saw the one with the two hoops.
It's called,
I can't remember.
You texted me the name of it when you were asking me if I had one, and I was like, what is that? And then I realized what you were talking about.
I just saw it. I wasn't even planning to talk about it, so I can't remember. But y'all see it.
It's the thing you put on your finger for color work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I started a cardigan.
Oh, wow. You didn't just start. You got pretty far.
So after the last episode, I was like, you know what? You got the yarn. You like the cardigan, so make it.
Somebody in the comments is going to be happy. Somebody in the comments commented last time that you should do
this. They said, it's so fun. I was like, I'm not going to say anything yet, but I happened to just go ahead and cast it on. But I have 2 sleeves.
Oh my gosh.
This one, I'm at the point of doing the underarm shaping. This one, the underarm shaping is done, and then the next step is a provisional cast on to start the body. And so,
look at all that fluff.
It's gonna be a joy.
Yeah, and I love the color combo too.
Yay! So this is the Letho cardigan. I think it's by Natasha Hornby.
I'm pretty sure. Okay. Yeah,
Natasha Hornby. And let me I can show you all the yarn I'm using. So let's see.
Oh, this is palette also, right? Oh no, it's not palette.
It's oh, I have the band. Okay. So the main color is this yarn. I got this at Imagine It in San Francisco. One of our local stores here. Again, another place where I felt like I experienced lovely. They wound it. But this is the Fiber Co. Cumbria. So at one point it wasn't. I had gotten home and I was like, I texted you. I was like, I wasn't thinking. I was like, oh yeah, Cumbria comes in worsted. The pattern basically calls for worsted, and I was so excited when I went to the store and I was like, oh, they have Cumbria, and I grabbed fingering. But anyway, this is, I can't remember, it's wool and mohair already.
So then you added mohair. That's
already
why it's
mohair
so fluffy.
in it. So then I was like, oh well, this is going to be more expensive than I intended because I have to add mohair. But anyway, and then I don't know, you get such a lovely intentionally made yarn. And then I did go commercial with the mohair, but you know, if it works with the budget.
It's like the same colors.
And so I have, I'm rambling, y'all.
That's okay. This is a rambling one. It's fine.
I have, so interestingly, I have a merino that's basically this color. And I was like, I could make like a regular raglan simple sweater holding this with that. And so part of me was like, should I use it? So this was part of the reason why I was like, I don't know, should I make it? What should I do? Blah, blah, blah. And then finally I gave in and I was like, you have these. So I paired these together and I was like, I'll just see how it looks. And I ended up liking how it looks. Like, it's always magical, interesting seeing what happens when you pair mohair. So again, like, some people, there's mixed, I don't know, experiences with this, but I have been finding it fun. Just like the person who commented mentioned. So the cuff is knit. This is brioche. And I hadn't done brioche in a while, and it was so much fun. And brioche can be like a stockinette experience where you can just flow through it, right?
Especially one color.
Yeah, once you know it. So this is brioche, and then you have these welts here. So there are 3 welts. And then a mosaic pattern, slip stitch pattern. And so my other colors, I am using Knit Picks palette. I'm holding it double as one of my contrast colors. This is the colorway Autumn. And then I'm finding myself speaking quickly. I always feel like I always have to remind myself, I'm like, I'm speaking like I'm rushing through the podcast. And then this was leftover yarn from Mark's sweater I had made it, and this is worsted weight. So that's what I have. And I'm just looking at this and I was like, can I remember who this is by? But since we've talked about Progress Keepers, the name's escaping me. And then this is the owl one from that same person I had gotten that I told you all about.
Are those coconuts stoppers on there?
Yes, that's something else I got from that yarn while I was at the shop.
Do you like, I'm always like losing stitches. Are those good? Do they stay on pretty good?
They've been working well for me. And I had it in the back of my mind and I saw them when I went to that store. I was like, you know what, I'll just grab them. And I'm realizing that there really is a use for them. Like, I feel a little bit safer just having these things around. With having the progress.
You have them on here too, I noticed. That's one of those things where I'm always like, oh, I don't need to spend the extra money on, but like, it's not like it's that expensive.
It's not that expensive.
Peace of mind.
And you know, I'm not going to just, well, you know, whatever. Everyone spends their money on different things, but if I'm going to use it and I'm finding that I'm using it, then I feel good about purchases like that. So, yeah.
All right. I might have to get those next time I'm in a yarn store.
Yeah, grab them.
Okay, well, I have just one more.
One more thing about the leftover cardigan is the other thing, and don't hold me to this, but the other thing I said to myself, and I looked it up, and I have 2 things sitting, is that I want to attempt to do my own pockets. I just have to see, because it's a unique construction, so I just have to make sure I can figure out where it makes sense, because I'm going to do afterthought pockets and put waist yarn. And then I want to do my own button band too. So I looked up a pattern for brioche.
For button, but to match the cuffs.
Yeah, because the collar and all of that it's in brioche. So I would have to make the button band in brioche. So we'll see. If I feel like being that adventurous and figuring that out.
Yeah, well, it's going to be great.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I feel like the sleeves are I don't know, to me, always the hardest part. So if you did that first, then you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Well, I just started one more thing. I started a crochet Afghan, actually.
Oh, wait.
And I did not bring, let me pull up the pattern. I did not bring the yarn. So, like about a year ago, at this time, I bought this kit of Christmas colors of yarn from a dyer called Green Letter Day.
Mhm.
And it's all these different pinks and greens and reds and teals. And so I bought it last year with the thought I was going to make a Christmas Afghan this year to replace if you've seen our Christmas episode from last year, I have this like very garish Christmas tree Afghan. So I've been wanting one that was a little bit more modern. So I had bought this yarn, and then the pattern, because I knew it was going to be something that I would have for a long time, and I just couldn't find a pattern that really called to me. So I had just kind of let it sit until like I figured out what pattern to use for it. And then I saw this blanket on Pearl Soho. It's called Fair and Square, and it's like all different types of squares, basically granny squares with the colors organized differently. So I got some cream colored yarn to use for the part around, and then I'm using this Christmas yarn kit for the color. And of course the pattern, the Pearl Soho pattern, there's two versions, one with 4 colors and one with 14 colors, and I had 10 colors. So what I did is I made let me see if I can find it. I should have pulled it up before. I made myself, like, I put the little diagram of where the squares go, and like just did like the highlighter tool to figure out what color to make them all to make it balanced. So I did that, and I'll just show you one of the squares so you can see how it's turning out. So yeah, so I started making the squares. So the other thing I did, I made that little picture so I could see where the colors would go.
Yeah.
And then
do you have more squares?
I do. I'm going to show them in a minute. But it's a free pattern from Pearl Soho. But I was getting annoyed with having to scroll back and forth, because it's like square 2D is the same as square 1C or whatever, and then you got to like scroll up to what 1C was. So I just like I mean, the pattern's free, so it doesn't matter. So I just wrote out for everyone like which color I was using, because it's different than the pattern, and then how many rounds of each color I had to do. So I wrote that out, and you can see I've done up to 2E, so I've done 10 squares.
Nice.
So here they are. There's one. And then what I did to not forget what they are is I just tied to the end that hasn't been woven in yet the little card that says like, this is square.
Brilliant. Did you hole punch your paper?
I did.
You're such an educator.
I mean, so this one, so you can kind of start to see the palette. That's like a pink.
Yeah. Oh, this looks so
fun. Lighter pink. Yet another pink. Yeah, there's a lot. There's actually only one true red. And also a couple of the shades I don't think I've gotten to yet, just because of how they're oriented. So this is the one that's actually a red.
Oh, that's fun.
Here's one of the greens.
Ooh.
A darker green. And then this is what I'm working on right now, which is with red in the center. So I don't know if you can see, if we hold up several, kind of like what the palette is, maybe like a couple of the pinks. So you can see it's kind of like that vintagey Christmas vibe.
Vintage Christmas.
Yeah. So I am kind of debating about what to do. So I have 10 skeins of this is another important, we are really all over the place. This is another important modification I made. So the Pearl Soho pattern is like a typical granny square. And if you crochet in a lot of granny squares, so you're making these like little chunks of 3 stitches. And then some granny squares have an additional stitch, like a chain 1 in between the little clusters. I did the first one like that, and it just was way too open. And I was like, it's going to be winter, so what's the point of a blanket that's that open? So I went to Attic 24, which is a blog, crochet blog, and she has a ton of free patterns. And I've made, it's basically called like a no chain granny square. I don't know. It's a granny square that doesn't have that extra stitch in between, so it makes it more solid, right? So I used that. I will link that below. And I also have a blanket on my Ravelry page that I made using that pattern, but I'll link it to make. So I modified the granny square to make it less open, but because of that, it's smaller.
Oh.
So what I realized is I think once I get all the squares done and put together, it's not going to actually be big enough for how big I want it. I have 10 skeins of the white yarn. I'm gonna have a ton of this left because it doesn't use very much of the color. But I have 10 skeins of the white yarn. I think it's gonna take like 5.5 to make the blanket.
How do you feel about doubling this?
So that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm gonna have to double it. I could double it, but then I would run out of white yarn, so I would have to go get more of the white yarn. Or I could just make it like almost double, right? Like make it like 4 more rows instead of 5 or whatever. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I do like, I think for winter it's going to be a better like functional blanket without having so many holes.
Sense. Definitely.
And the nice thing about free patterns is both of those patterns are free. So I can take like the color arrangement from this pattern and then kind of mash it up.
Your hybrid.
Right. Yeah. That's just a little. So this is my second ball of the white yarn. Got it. And I've done 11 squares basically so far. So I'm really enjoying that. It takes me about an hour to do each square.
I was curious about that. Yeah.
And I'm not the fastest crocheter, so if you're a fast crocheter, you might be able to.
And is crocheting granny squares, is that like a chill vibe? Yeah.
It's kind of like a vanilla sock.
Yeah, no doubt. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm working on that. I mean, I definitely will not be done this year for Christmas, but probably for next year, right? Now that I have had the inspiration and I know I can just kind of keep it there.
You got it rolling now.
Do a square every now and then. So yeah.
Cool. I don't know. I'll
show the people.
I'll give you a quick update. I did work on it, and then when I started the test knit, I stopped. But I don't know where I was. I should use a thing on this. A progress keeper on this. But this is shifty. I'm not going to talk about it. But this is where I am. I need to finish this. I have like 2 more repeats in this color on the body, and then the rest again, and then I'm doing the ribbing according to pattern. And then I'll move on to the sleeves. So this yarn, the main color, I have to wind up the other ball. And as you can see, this is actually one of those things where these come in really handy, because I was like tucking in the needles and stuff, but now I can let them rest.
Yeah, because you're not magic looping, you're using just a smaller circumference needle, so you can't just like pull it out like you would with magic loop.
Yeah, well, they're uneven on each side.
Oh, okay. This side is short ones.
Yeah, I just put in what I had of the right size, and then so
nice.
You have future plans?
Yeah, I have future plans, because I was like, I gave all my finished objects away, so I was like, I gotta bring something. Okay, first of all, this is a future plan. I don't usually show like cross charts or whatever, but I just got this in the mail because I very rarely ever on a website do the like notify me when this is back in stock, because I feel like that's just dangerous, right? Then you're gonna get, but this was something I saw and it was out of stock, and I was like, how fast can I enter my email address and actually tried twice to buy it. I got an email that it was back in stock, and then I'm just building this up because you'll see why in a minute. Yeah. I got an email that it was back in stock, and I was at work, so I don't think I got the email right when it went out, but I saw it and I immediately like stopped what I was doing, clicked on it to try to order it, and it was already out of stock again. So I put in my email again to get notified. And then the second time I did get it, but you can see why
shut the front door.
I was like, I must have that grumpy cat wearing some sort of Christmas mouse hat. Like, I can't even. This, right? I had to get that.
So cute.
I don't even know. It's like
this almost makes me wanna. I'm like, I'm gonna start cross stitching.
It's a Russian company called Pana. It's called Festive Mood, which is also so funny. The title, right?
So much.
So I had to bring it because I knew Wanda would want to see it, but then I was just like, it's one of those things where you just know you have to have. And I might actually start it on Christmas. I was thinking about having,
Oh yeah, that would be joyful. Joyful work.
I mean, this guy is not joyful, but
it'll bring you joy. Oh, I see some delicious stuff.
So anyway, that was just my funny story about trying to get that. It was like getting concert tickets or something. So I've been wanting to make a cardigan.
Yeah.
And I think I figured out what cardigan I'm going to make. And did I write down the name of it? No, I'll look for it in a minute when you start talking. But it's a petite knit cardigan. It's just like a raglan cardigan with fingering weight and mohair. I forget what it's called.
Is it long? Her version is long?
No, it's not.
It's not that one.
I do have that one in my queue also.
Yeah.
But this one it's like the same like raglan shaping, but it's just like hip length or something.
It.
So I'll show you in a minute. But anyways, I had this yarn already. And I've been, this is Biche Bouche. The color is mustard, Le Petit Lamb's Wool. And I had been looking for something to make with it for years. And then I was like, I really want another cardigan that's like a little more colorful because most of my cardigans are darker colors.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I could make that because it's fingering and mohair if I just get the mohair. So I ordered the mohair.
Yay!
And it came. And so this is probably going to get started over my vacation also.
I have this mohair and I have a yarn, the Tweedy yarn by Wisteria. In that color, but it's Tweedy.
So
I love it.
Yeah.
Those are the perfect mustards.
Very excited. It's just, I just really realized I mostly wear my cardigans that are more like stockinette plainer. I don't wear like, I have a couple cabled cardigans and I just don't wear them that much. So anyway, I was like,
yeah, that's perfect for a simple raglan cardigan. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, so I'm very excited
the color
about that.
does it. Yeah. And I have it on my phone, but it's actually the perfect brioche cardigan. When we were talking about it, that is in my queue that I want to make because it has pockets and it has buttons. And I was going to share it, but I don't remember it.
You don't remember what it's called?
No, okay. It's in my, I would need to go into Ravelry to pull it up. You can look at other people's favorites,
I can look at yours.
Right?
Okay, yeah, let me look for that sweater I just talked about and then I'll look up yours.
Should we do the giveaway while you're looking at that?
Sure.
Okay. So, so we had the unique make along, which started last spring or summer. And interestingly, I was making, I always forget I can't remember. But interestingly, it's kind of still going because I'm making the Letho, which is unique as well.
No, that's what you're making now. The Laden is what you were making. The Laden
was what I was making then. But we pulled for a winner, random number generator, and there was two people who I posted on Instagram and then pulled from the Ravelry page. And so the winner's name on Ravelry is Walsh Central. So reach out to us. We'll also contact you. I think you posted on IG as well. And so we'll send out this yarn. It's Fall Self-Striping by Sockturnal. And the accompanying minis called Falling Leaves. So reach out to us and we'll get that out to you. Congratulations. And we don't have any knit-alongs or make-alongs running right now, but we've been thinking about some that we'll share and introduce in the new year, which is when we'll probably be back, right?
Yeah. So this is moving from unique to not unique at all. This is not a unique construction, but this is the one that I'm talking about. It's called the April cardigan. I knew it was a month. I couldn't think of it. And the one you were talking about is this one, the No Frills cardigan.
Yeah. I like that one. Yeah. I mean, it would be a lot of work, but I like that one.
I would like to make it. I actually have a colleague who works at another school who has a sweater very similar to this that I think is just a commercial sweater. And every time she wears it, I'm like, I should make that. And then I'm like, no, that's...
And it's the perfect color. It's like the same mustard too. Yeah, so I love everything about that.
Okay, you want me to look in your queue? Do you have anything else to talk about while I look in your favorites?
My favorites. Okay. Excuse the sudden noise. We're going to end soon, fortunately.
We could edit this out, maybe, right? Or is it? Oh, he's going away. Okay.
But and we can also show it on the next episode.
Okay, here you are. You only have 748 favorites.
So there goes And what's in my how we'll share how much was in my queue.
The pattern.
What's that?
I'm just trying to figure out how I could find it efficiently. Let's see. It's probably towards the end.
Wait, what? The sweater?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's at the beginning because that's more recent stuff.
Oh, got it. Okay. Oh, those are cool socks. The Midori socks.
Let's look at what's in
Mama's favorites. Oh, I like that blanket too.
Yeah, I fell in love with that.
The Haruki blanket. Okay, we're not going to really look through every one of 700 favorites. Classic sweater with pocket.
No, keep going. It's not that. That one.
Oh, this one.
No, this one.
Oh, this one. Oh, I like that. For the love of brioche jacket. Yes.
So it has the buttons, it has the pockets, it has the fit. So, because what I'm going for is more bomber type, and Letho, depending on how you do it, has that vibe. So
by Sarah Louise Biggerber. Nice.
Yeah.
I just have to show this other one though that I found. I'm gonna have to go now. My queue's gonna get a lot longer because this one is.
I
really
love
nice
that one.
too.
So there's a lot of stuff that's from the liner.
Oh, okay.
And so I've been contemplating buying that one. It's issue 13, and there are a lot of beautiful. I mean, there are a lot of cardigans in that one. Yeah. And then tops. There was There's this other top that I want to make, and then she also made this headband using the leftover yarn. But I'm this one.
Oh, this one, yeah.
I'm thinking of making the headband like tomorrow.
Oh, that's really pretty. Yeah. All right, so Lina issue 13.
That's Lina issue 13. Yeah. Anyway, so that was a spontaneous stroll through.
Trip through the favorites.
The favorites. All right, well, that's it for now, right?
Yeah. Well, happy holidays, everyone. We'll be back in 2022. Believe it or not, it's almost 2022.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching, commenting. We always really appreciate it and enjoy the interaction with you. And we'll see you later.
All right.
Bye.